Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's going to be a strange little video because I really just need a new phone case lanyard. I'm going to be stringing on this beautiful Softflex pink rhodochrosite color, and I'll show you, this is my little phone case slash wallet, and I did this one. I did a video on this one with one of the dollar bead boxes. I don't even remember when, but I'm tired of it, and you know, it was really beautiful over the summer, the oceanic kind of watercolors and my little cat. But I'm going to take this one off and do another one, and this one, you know, is not from a bead box. This is going to be just like my favorite things. And there are other ways to make phone lanyards. You can put like a really large split ring through here with an oversized lobster claw clasp, but I like this type because a lot of times I carry my phone case as my purse or wallet, and this one I actually didn't quite get the bracelet as comfortably, you know, there's no clasp on it, so it's like a bracelet that slips over, and I did it strung rather than like a stretch bracelet because I want to make sure that you, of course, you keep your phone close to you. And so these cool little lanyard bits, I can link these for you. I just got a color assortment, and they're mixed gold and silver and pinks and turquoises and oranges, and there's pretty much, you know, every color that anybody could want. So I'm going to be working with this little kind of salmon pink, and I think this strand of beads, I think these came from the bead show. These are just from my stash, but I love it. I have rose gold and pink accessories on pretty much everything that I own, and I'm going to need to add some spacers because this is not going to be a full bracelet length, so I think I'll be using the whole strand. And I thought I would just chat. I have been into my Jesse James beads, boho bead stash, and I have some bits and bobs from my bead soup. I made this for something, I don't even know, it was just in my bead soup. It's a little felt bead charm, and I love it, and it's already been coated with my anti-tarnish coating. My friend Peggy Bush sent me this gift. I opened it on my try-on video last month, and in that were these little filigree bells with a little tinkling bell bit. And I had this from the craft store, this little pink cat with a pearl necklace, and I'm actually going to remove this little pearl that the kitty cat is holding and get this ready. I think that I'm going to add this to my lanyard. I'm just going to remove that little plastic pearl and get some jump rings, and my bell is going to be in the kitty cat's hand. So I make my jump rings out of anti-tarnish wire, and so I'm going to just add that to her hand. And I thought I would remind everybody, well, that's not the plier that I want. I thought I would remind everybody that I'm very honored that I have been invited back as a teacher and instructor for the next virtual event with Jesse James Beads. The boho beads reminded me that I don't think in my try-on video, I don't think that I told anybody in that video. I can't remember. I might have, so I'm sorry if I'm being redundant, but I am so honored that they invited me back to their next virtual event, and my design is done, my sample piece is done, and Sarah James had wanted me to design something to kind of dress up a winter sweater, so my piece is something that can be dressed up or down. And when I teach my class, I'm going to teach a couple of different ways to actually assemble the piece, to create the pendant part of the piece. And I decided that since I read all the comments, and there's so many of you struggle with the different crimping ways, especially the magical crimping plier, but even the fold over crimp. So I've decided that I'm going to show all the different ways to crimp in my class, and I am so excited about some of the other classes. And so I posted on my community tab. But the other really cool thing is that Sarah James has offered a special discount for my viewers. So I'll put that link in the description box under this video for signing up for the event. She said there are a few spots left, that it's getting near the end of, you know, being sold, getting toward the point of being sold out, but it is not yet. And so she said that she would be so happy to give my audience a discount off of their classes and supplies. So the boho beads reminded me, because I was digging through my Jesse James Beads boho beads, and they have like the most beautiful beads, and this was one of my favorite ones ever. It does have a silver bead cap, and I want my piece to be in gold, so I'm going to just layer another bead cap in gold right on top of that, both sides. And I am going to start by don't need a wire. I'm going to start with one of my Soft Flex number 2 crimp tubes, a gold filled one. When I order them, they come like this. They don't tarnish, and they are just really, really amazing. They work so great with a magical crimping plier. So I'm going to put my wire right through my little lanyard and pop my crimp tube on, and crimp tube first, then lanyard. I am telling you, I am really dyslexic, and especially I was going to just chat with you guys while I worked up this little phone lanyard. And I know we're coming into the season when so many of you have gifts to make, and I have several people in my life that don't wear jewelry, and I've made desk accessories for them and bookmarkers, but there are other things we can do with our jewelry tools and skills, and tech accessories is one of them. So I'm going to I made my loop and attached my lanyard. It's not a really small loop. I want everything to move freely, and I'm going to fit that number 2 crimp tube squarely in the middle of this tool, and it's turned the tube into a square with 4 pinched corners. And now I want to fit it in the opposite direction, but once again I just felt it go right in the middle. Once again, close down, and now just keep now it's a bead, the crimp tube in the middle of the tool as you go around, opening and closing. It only takes a few times, and it's turned into a little bead. If you feel like you didn't quite get enough shaping, you can fit it back in and do a little bit more, but I just love that. And so on my phone lanyards, I'll show you this one again, I do double crimp beads. I do a crimp bead here for this loop, and then I do another one up here. Just it adds a little bit of strength, so I do mine like that. And then I'm going to do a bead cap. Let me see how that sits on my crimp bead. I might need to pull out a bead. No, it's actually okay. Do I want a bead? I have so many pink beads. I know that's a shock to so many of you that have come to know me. No, I think that's really pretty. These boho beads and the section of the Jesse James Bead website that is called Fab Finds is so amazing for really cool things. Look at that, you guys. That is too pretty. It is just too pretty. Okay, so I'm going to cut open my strand of beads here. I was playing if I wanted this boho bead, but this one is so gorgeous. I don't think that I'm going to add it in. I think I'm just going to do this single one. And I also have out here some 11-0 seed beads. I definitely won't need that many. And I don't know why these were on clearance, but I picked these up on clearance at the craft store, and they're Miyuki 6-0, but they're Duracoat galvanized, which is so perfect for a phone lanyard because that keeps the gold metallic finish. It doesn't rub off very easily. It's permanent. And the same thing with my Toho beads. These are also perma-finished galvanized. So for making a really good quality like phone lanyard or tech accessory, that's something to look for, because you know it makes your work last. Oh, that's so pretty. I think I am going to put one of those at the base of my boho bead, and then again at the top of it. And then I'm going to feed on my crimp tube. You know, this is a little bit strange. It's a little bit different than the way we make jewelry, but I'm going to feed on my crimp tube. Let me make sure it's not going to go down inside my bead. No, it's not. And I'm just going to let it hang out there while I bead my, you know, my bracelet part or my wristlet part. And I think what I'm going to do is keep this super simple. Just do a seed bead in between each of these pink beads. I was thinking I might want to do like every third bead with one of those, and that it looks so great. I am just a sucker for anything pink and gold. That is my absolute favorite, pink and gold, everything. So I'm gonna do 3 and then an 8/0, and then resume with the bead and the 11/0, and I'm just going to bead the length of this. I just love this. I'm going to have one bead left over, but that is okay. And I'm going to come to this end and feed this wire back down through my number 2 crimp tube, and wonderfully enough, it goes through the seed bead, through my bead caps, through my boho bead. I love that, because I can really look at that. It's coming right back out the other end. So that is great. So when I crimp here, then I'll be able to trim down here at the bottom, and it just makes this look seamless. And just like making a bracelet or anything, I'm going to check 3, 3, 3, make sure I kept my pattern going, and make sure that it's not too tight. And I'm going to come back in with my magical crimping plier and turn this into a little bead that will look just like my 11/0 seed beads. Close down. I'm going to trim right here where it's coming out of that seed bead. And I think just for decoration, I think I'm going to put a crimp cover. I don't always put a crimp cover over my magically crimped beads. It's really not necessary, but I have these little decorative like corrugated ones, and they're quite small, and sometimes I do it just because I like the look. This is a really small one. So I'm just going to get a hold of it with my plier and fit it over my magically crimped bead, just like that, and very gently. This is extremely malleable metal, so you don't need to kill it. I just go side to side and, you know, front to back, top to bottom, with very gentle movements to close up that seam. I just keep going, just keep working it from different angles until it looks like a solid bead. A little bit right there. A little bit more. That is gorgeous? That just makes my heart sing. And then I just have to decide how I'm going to hang my charms. I can go ahead and put this through my phone case, just loop it through. It's so wonderful to be able to make your own accessories like this, and wonderful for gifts, as I was saying, because you can personalize these. For me, I love pink and gold, so I have this stunning pink and gold wristlet, and I got my length a lot better on this one. When I'm out with my son, he's in a wheelchair and I carry everything, and a lot of times I don't bring a purse because I just really can't. So I just love this. It's a little bit sharp there, but you can personalize these, you know, your charms, your dangles and things. I am definitely going to put this on there, and I'm definitely going to put, do I want my little cat? I know I want this on here. And maybe I'll put this on one side and put my little cat down here. So let me get out some jump rings. But yeah, you know, you can buy initials. You can personalize it with a monogram, you know, an initial like that. It is amazing, all of the things you can do with jewelry skills and supplies. So I hope this wasn't like too strange of a little video today, but I just wanted to chat and remind everybody about the winter workshop event with Jesse James Beads. And I thought I'll just film this because we are coming into the season when I know so many of you have gifts to make. I make gifts for my friends all the time. And I have another friend that I need to do a gift for that I'm long overdue, and I'll be back with another video for that. But you know, it's just maybe a good creative spark reminder to, you know, use some of our skills and some of our supplies to do these kinds of things for the people in our lives. So let me see. I love that. That is so me. And that's the thing, you can make gifts and things that really are personal and perfect for the person that you are making it for. I think I'm going to hang my little cat with the bell down here. And I'm using my fancy gold-filled diamond cut jump rings, you know, because this is for me and this is my phone case, and this is something that I will see every single day, play with every single day. This is in my hand all day long. And so I put, you know, the best of the best on these kinds of things. I'm making a mess with my seed beads. Look at that. My little cat with her bell is just hanging right at the top of my phone case, and she's going to wiggle around there. I love that. So I'm going to clean up my seed beads here, and I hope this wasn't too weird of a video, but check my description box for links to the winter workshop and my discount code, and also links to Jesse James Beads. I have a discount code for Jesse James Beads, which you can use on the Magical Mystery Bead Box, but you can also use it to shop the website. And so many of the things that I show regularly come from the Fab Finds section of the Jesse James Beads website. So I thought that I would share that with you. And, you know, go into your stash as well. It is amazing. If you have only been making jewelry for a month, it is amazing the things you've probably already acquired, and I have a lifetime of it. So when I go shopping in my own stash, I come out with beads and things I don't even remember where I got them. But this time I got to use a gift from my friend Peggy, the little filigree bell, and I can link those too. She sent them to me, but I actually did find them online. So those links will be there in the description box. And some of you guys know that, and this is just part of this video chat, I guess, that I am a caregiver. My son has quite a serious illness, and I am a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week worker and with his care. And one of the things that I do to manage stress and to cope with things is a morning walk. I do yoga as well, but my morning walk, I take my camera and I walk around the lake. There are 2 ponds in my neighborhood. I'm very fortunate where I live, but I have been filming and documenting an alligator that is in one of our ponds, and we have a family of bunnies. I've seen a baby raccoon. I've seen a woodpecker, a really big woodpecker. Of course, occasionally I see a snake and the sandhill cranes, and we have ducks. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to cope with the stress of life, to get away from the screens, get outside, and like be with nature. And so that is one of the things that I do. So at the end of the video, and a lot of my videos, when I filmed something interesting, if I've seen a turtle or something, I put that there. And I have some more footage of the little alligator that I've been filming. But making jewelry, beading, creating, working with our hands and designing in our brains, that is another wonderful way. A lot of people make jewelry for that reason alone, not because they want to sell anything, not because they even really care about learning it, but just making something with your hands and tapping into your creativity. So if life is feeling really stressful for you, and I'm saying this because a lot of people privately ask me, how do you stay positive? How do you deal with such a serious situation running in your life? And those are 2 of the things that I do. There are other things, spiritual things, other things as well. But 2 of the things that I do is to get outside and daily exercise, and of course making jewelry and chatting with all of you. So I thank you so much for indulging my little nonsense today, and I hope you got a little inspiration or a trick or a tidbit on something you might want to do with your own beads and supplies. And I will see you all in the next video. Ciao, friends. Here's their little house.